Be ready. 5 seconds. Start. Honorable Speaker, Sir, a national digital library for children and adolescents will be set up for facilitating availability of quality books across geographies, languages, and levels and device easy accessibility. States will be encouraged to set up physical libraries for them at panchayat and ward levels and provide infrastructure for accessing the national digital library resources. Additionally, to build a culture of reading and to make up for pandemic time learning loss, the National Book Trust, Children's Book Trust, and other sources will be encouraged to provide and replenish non curricular titles in regional languages and English to these physical libraries. Collaboration with NGOs that work in literacy will also be a part of this initiative. To inculcate financial literacy, financial sector regulators and organizations will be encouraged to provide age appropriate reading material to these libraries. Prime Minister Vajpayee's government had formed the Ministry of Tribal Affairs and the Department of Development of Northeastern Region to provide a sharper focus to the objective of reaching the last mile. Our government has formed the ministries of Ayush, Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying, Skill Development, Jal Shakti and Cooperation. Building on the success of the Aspirational Districts program, the government has recently launched the Aspirational Blocks program covering 500 blocks for saturation of essential government services across multiple domains such as health, nutrition, education, agriculture, water resources, financial inclusion, skill development, and basic infrastructure. To improve socio-economic conditions of the particularly vulnerable tribal groups, Pradhan Mantri Development Mission will be launched. This will saturate families and habitations with basic facilities such as safe housing, clean drinking water and sanitation, improved access to education, health and nutrition, road and telecom connectivity, and sustainable livelihood opportunities. An amount of rupees 15,000 crore will be made available to implement the mission in the next 3 years under the Development Action Plan for the Scheduled Tribes. The outlay for PM Awas Yojana is being enhanced by 66% to over rupees 79,000 crore. Investments in infrastructure and productive capacity have a large multiplier impact on growth and employment. After the subdued period of the pandemic, private investments are growing again. The budget takes the lead once again to ramp up the virtuous cycle of investment and job creation. Capital investment outlay is being increased steeply for the third year in a row by 33%. The direct capital investment by the center is complemented by the provision made for creation of capital assets through grants in aid to states. The effective capital expenditure of the center is budgeted at rupees 13.7 lakh crore, which will be 4.5% 5% of GDP. I have decided to continue the 50-year interest-free loan to state governments for one more year to spur investment in infrastructure and to incentivize them for complementary policy actions with a significantly enhanced outlay of rupees 1.3 lakh crore. The newly established Infrastructure Finance Secretariat will assist all stakeholders for more private investment in infrastructure, including railways, roads, urban infrastructure, and power, which are predominantly dependent on public resources. The harmonized master list of infrastructure will be reviewed by an expert committee for recommending the classification and financing framework suitable for Amrit Kal. A capital outlay of rupees 2.40 lakh crore has been provided for the railways. The highest ever outlay is about 9 times the outlay made in 2013-14. 100 critical transport infrastructure projects for last and first mile connectivity for ports, coal, steel, fertilizer, and food grains sectors have been identified. They will be taken up on priority with investment of rupees 75,000 crore, including rupees 15,000 crore from private sources. 50 additional airports, heliports, water aerodromes, and advanced landing grounds will be revived for improving regional air connectivity. States and cities will be encouraged to undertake urban planning reforms and actions to transform our cities into sustainable cities of tomorrow. This means efficient use of land resources, adequate resources for urban infrastructure, transit-oriented development, enhanced availability and affordability of urban land, and opportunities for all. Through property tax governance reforms and ring fencing user charges on urban infrastructure, cities will be incentivized to improve their credit worthiness for municipal bonds. Like the RIDF, an Urban Infrastructure Development Fund will be established through use of priority sector lending shortfall. This will be managed by the National Housing Bank and will be used by public agencies to create urban infrastructure in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. States will be encouraged to leverage resources from the grants of the 15th Finance Commission as well as existing schemes to adopt appropriate user charges while accessing the UIDF. We expect to make available rupees 10,000 crore per annum for this purpose. All cities and towns will be enabled for 100% mechanical dislodging of septic tanks and sewers to transition from manhole to machine hole mode. Enhanced focus will be provided for scientific management of dry and wet waste.